So we go on to number one, the Yuba City Homeless Consortium Executive Director, introduction and presentation by Mr. Johnny Burke. And for those of you who may be speaking, we have this podium right here. Typically we go here, but we're going to go right there, Johnny. Right here. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I was told we're using that one. He's the public, isn't he? Oh, okay. Go for it.
Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and share. Just wanted to take a couple moments just to introduce myself to you if we haven't met before. And I know some of us are familiar from Sutter Yuba Consortium meetings already, but I haven't met Vice Mayor Boomgarden or Councilmember Shaw until tonight. So hello, my name is Johnny Burke. One of my business cards should have been on your desk. If it got taken away, then I blame Manny, but I'll get you another one. And just let me know and we'll get that squared away. But I've been about 2 months on the job right now working for the consortium, and I'm very excited to be working with all of our partners in the area, including Yuba City. It's just been it's a great time. I look up and down the state of California and a variety of different areas. They're really struggling to deal with homeless. And of course, we have a homeless issue here. We can see it as well. But one nice thing about the Yuba City area is that we don't have an increase in homeless last 2 years, where California has seen anywhere between 11 and 30% increases across the board. And that's due in part for all the different agencies that are working together on this, like Yuba City and all the other partner agencies that work with the consortium. So it's exciting to come into a position where there's already a lot of amazing work being done and more continued work being done. I'm very excited about a lot of the different projects that are in the works. I wanted to personally thank the council for the money that the council affords to the consortium through the Community Development Block Grant. That $100,000 goes to a variety of different sources that you probably know: Bridges to Housing, Central Valley Homeless Veterans, Hands of Hope, REST, Salvation Army, and the largest chunk goes to Better Way. And I wanted to share a story with you, not a story of something from the consortium, but I was speaking today with Imelda, who runs Better Way. And I just wanted to know some numbers on how Better Way's been doing, because you've been supporting that, and they've gotten support through the consortium and obviously through Sutter County and a variety of grant sources. And in the just a little less than a year that they've been open, they've successfully housed 36 individuals that have gone through the program and are now in permanent housing. And that's a big deal. It's an exciting thing. Some of the funds that are being used from that community development block grant have gone towards different salaries there: the shelter monitors, the housing navigator, their case management services. And those folks, their whole priority is to de-escalate situations on there, to wash the bedding, to manage on-site services. But that housing navigator part is really critical. That person is really in charge of getting folks to go from temporary emergency shelter and into permanent housing. And they've been doing a really good job of that. And she shared with me a story today that you don't see so much in numbers, but of the 36 individuals that they've housed over the last year, 3 of those folks have been rehoused and did not re-enter homelessness because of their post caseworker care, I guess you could say. Folks stay in touch with them, and 3 different individuals, 2 in their 70s, 1 who was 82 years old, and their new housing they got were going to lose housing for no fault of their own. And she shared with me that the 82-year-old was about to lose his housing because the house that he was in was being sold, but he reached out to Better Way. Their housing navigator was able to find him a place, so he didn't re-enter homelessness. So that's just really a great example of working together as a team to help people out, and that's thanks in part to the funds that you've allotted to that. So I wanted to thank you for that. I wanted to share a couple things that the Sutter Yuba Homeless Consortium is in the process of doing. Right now, on Monday, we issued requests for proposals for almost $1.9 million in funds that'll be given out over the next 2 months to a variety of different agencies. And so that'll be closing in just a couple weeks. They'll be submitting those in, and final decisions will be made, and that money will be going out. So there's a lot of money that's going to be coming into a lot of different agencies with some new projects. There's 4 different funding sources, and if you're interested in any of these things, you can certainly ask any questions at the end. I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Want to let you know upcoming that there's more funding coming. That's not the end of what's coming in. Just got notification today that one of the funding sources that we're going to be handing out almost $790,000. The second round is coming out. It's called HHAP. And today it was announced that they're affording us additional $1,000 that we'll be able to. And we just found that out today. So surprise, Grace, at that. You probably got the email too. We also have another large grant coming down called ESG CV2. ESG is Emergency Solutions Grant. CV is for COVID, and this is the second round. This has the potential to be quite a bit of money. We got a lot the first round from them that went out to this area, and a little over $600,000. And now the second round has the potential to be up to 2 to 3 times that. So we're going to see what they're going to afford our areas. So there's a lot of great things happening and a lot of great agencies and programs that are being supported right now. And so I just want to let you know about that. I also wanted to invite you possibly to something. Isn't that weird when someone says, I want to possibly invite you to something? Like, I'm going to give you an invitation, but I might take it back, and I'll explain why. In January, we're going to be doing our annual PIT count. PIT stands for point in time count. We do this every year. On odd number years, we do a sheltered and unsheltered count. So that means we go out and try and count every single person who might be experiencing homelessness at the time. In 2019, in Sutter and Yuba counties, we had 721 individuals who fell into that classification and were experiencing homelessness. In even number years, we do a sheltered count. So just recently, we got a count from all the different shelters, and that number was 202. So there's quite a big difference there. You've got 500 plus people that are out and about. And so we're in the odd number years. So 2021, we have another sheltered and unsheltered coming up. And so I would like to invite each and every one of you council members to join us that day, if we get to do it, because COVID might put a break on that. We're still waiting to hear from HUD if we will be able to do that. But if we're able to do that, I would invite you to come out, because it's a great opportunity to go out, and there's a questionnaire you get to fill out and just get a little bit of information on the folks, hear a little bit of their stories, and see some things firsthand. It's a great opportunity. I'm sure we can get you a free breakfast and lunch out of it. So if that's enticing at all, please let me know, and we'll do yeah, just for Manny? Okay. Sounds good, Vice Mayor. So I just want to let you know about that. You do have one of my business cards on your desk there. Also want to let you know that we are hiring another position. We are hiring a data assistant position. It's a part-time position, and that's on our website. So if you know anybody looking for a position, we're looking for the finest quality we can. And so if you know anybody, please push them our way. And just wanted to open up, if anyone had any questions, I would certainly love to entertain those if there's any questions right now.
Through the mayor, thanks for being here tonight. It's good to finally put a name with a face, and sounds like there's a lot of good things going on. One question I have is, with the point in time count, do those numbers in any way affect your ability to secure funds from grants or other sources? So if you aren't able to do that, is that going to be a challenge?
Well, it won't. Yes and no. Those numbers absolutely are critical for HUD to see what we have and for HCC to make decisions. Matter of fact, the information that for the HHAP second round that just came out today, they told us that they base those numbers, those allocations, on our point in time counts from 2019. So they haven't given us instructions yet. It will not hurt us, because if HUD tells us we cannot do it and that they're not permitting it because of COVID restrictions, then we'll be stuck with our numbers from 2019, and we'll probably do just another sheltered count, and they'll probably extrapolate from those numbers based on previous numbers. So it won't be something that we have direct control. We have to take HUD's, their guidance and what they tell us that we can and cannot do. So it won't hurt us if we can't. It just might not help us.
Thanks.
So you coming, Vice Mayor? Is that a yes then?
I'll come for lunch.
Okay. Sounds good.
What was the date again?
It's usually the last week of January. In 2019, it was like January 29th. So we don't have an exact date, because HUD's being very, very careful not to. And people keep asking at the meetings, and HUD's last official response is, we don't have an official response, and please stop asking. So we are waiting on them now at this point.
Through the mayor, I just want to thank you, Johnny, for being here today, and your presentation was awesome. You covered it really well, and I'm impressed and happy that you are part of our team on the consortium. You have, in the last 2 months, done more work, I think, than our entire board has been able to do in over a year. So thank you so much, and I encourage you all to get on the PIT team so you can see how that works, and get to know Johnny, and perhaps have a meeting with him one-on-one if you haven't met with him, and ask some of those questions, because some of those projects We just opened up the Life Building. Do you want to describe a little bit about that on the Life Building?
Sure, absolutely. If you've never been to the Life Building, it's located over in Marysville at 131 F Street. For the last 2 years, it's been the coordinated entry spot for Yuba County, just like Hands of Hope is the coordinated entry spot for Sutter County. And for the front half of the building, they've been doing coordinated entry for the last 2 years, where someone off the street would come there. That would be their first point of entry. That's why we call it coordinated entry, where they would meet with a caseworker, find out some options for housing, find out how to get options for health care, meet with a counselor, possibly job training. A whole spectrum of different services have been offered there. And they've been working on rehabbing the back part of the building to make it into a shelter. And it is complete. On Monday, they got their final inspection, their certificate of occupancy. And there is 25 total beds there, 12 male, 12 female upstairs, and one large ADA room with an accompanying ADA bathroom downstairs. There's full showers there and laundry. This is our first 24-hour shelter in the area. So if someone should need shelter at 2 a.m. in the morning, they can knock on the door, and if a bed is available, they will be able to go right into a bed. And so that's a first in our area. And so that should be opening in a matter of hours to bring folks in, but they've got everything lined up.
Johnny, what do they expect the capacity to be, not the capacity, but the occupancy to be? Is it going to be immediately filled up?
As of last week, they had 6 males and 6 females on the waiting list, and that was probably 7 to 10 days ago. So they expect it to fill up quickly. What's nice about that building is that there is a overflow capacity downstairs. And so if somebody comes in the middle of the night and all 24 beds upstairs are taken, they still can provide an emergency cot for someone, and then the next morning regroup to see if that person, okay, are you Sutter County? Maybe we can get you in a better way. Are you Yuba County? Maybe 14-4 is a spot for you. Maybe the depot's a spot for you. Maybe we need to get right into rapid housing. So there's a variety of different options, but as long as they have overflow beds, they should be able to get people in. And
are we still doing outreach to the folks who are homeless, in the river bottoms, for example, so they are aware that this is available to them?
Yes, and there's a brand new team called the HEART team, and HEART stands for Homeless Engagement and Resolution Team. And this team is for outreach specifically. It's headed up by April Tate with Behavioral Health. And this group is designed to go out there and have behavioral health representatives, as well as street nurse, law enforcement to go out and to meet people out in the field to see if they can offer assistances, to encourage them to come into the coordinated entry sites, and also to advertise the new shelter as well. The HEART team hasn't got to mobilize and go out in the field just yet. As a team, that should be happening really within the week. I'm sure you're aware there's a pandemic going on right now, and it's kind of holding things up a little bit. And so that's kind of held them up a little bit. But the street nurse outreach team is still going out. As a matter of fact, Cynthia Cooper from Adventist is going to be going out tomorrow morning and going to be hitting the streets. And I went out with her about a month ago, along with one of the officers from Sutter County Sheriff's. And every single person we talked to, she talked to them, encouraged them to come in, asked them where they're at, asked them if they thought about getting to housing. And so on that particular day, we were looking for a specific individual who had been approved for Better Way. We wanted to find him and let him know we got a spot for him. We were able to find him and eventually get him in there. So that was good.
Great. Thank you very much.
Awesome. And you have my cards. Please do contact me. If you have any questions, I'd love for when any of you council members think, if you have a question about homelessness, whether it's a statistic or an idea or a question about collaboration, I'd love for you to think of my name, send me a text, call, whatever the case may be, so I can answer that for you so you don't have to run around trying to find an answer. Hopefully make it as easy as possible so we can continue our collaborative effort. I really appreciate the time.
We appreciate your time, too. Thank you very much. It's very informative. That's good.